Welcome to the hamlet of Tappan. Here were passed the historically significant Orangetown resolutions. Here General Washington had his headquarters. Here Major Andre was hanged as a British spy. Tappan still retains much of the charm of an earlier era. Its sparkling creek, its old houses, its beautiful colonial church, and its delightful village green set it apart as a sacred area of beauty. On its fields, patriots died. In its tavern, history was made. Here is hallowed country, a living reminder of our American heritage. The 76 House, first known as Maybe's Tavern, was built in 1740. It is still a tavern today. Under this roof, history was made with the passage of the Orangetown resolutions. These contained the seeds for the Declaration of Independence, which was signed exactly 2 years later to the day. Again, history was made in this famed tavern when Major John Andre was led to a small one-windowed room, his prison for a fortnight. The Tappan Reformed Church, built in 1835, is widely regarded as the perfect example of American colonial architecture. The first church on this site was founded by its original Dutch settlers at the end of the 17th century. Graceful proportions and a charming vista from the church on the village green recall the attractiveness of the past in a setting unspoiled by the present. In its burial grounds rest many former soldiers of the Continental Army. On their tombstones are etched a legacy of patriotism. One reads, Lemuel Cushing, surgeon of the 23rd Regiment. He finished a valuable life October 28, 1776. Before you pass, let fall a tear, for youth and worth lie buried here. The manse has a unique distinction. It has served continuously as a parsonage since it was built in 1726, a well-built Dutch colonial home of the period. The Sparkill Creek, picturesquely threading its way through the center of Tappan, meets the main stream of life at many turns, adding an unexpected delight for the eye. This home is a splendid example of Jeffersonian colonial architecture. Many of Tappan's historical houses are but footsteps from the village green. In this 1790 house on the village green, Macy Deming, at the turn of the century, invented cereal, one of the first cooked baby foods. Unchanged over the years is this quaint approach to Tappan from New Jersey. The original portion of this authentic colonial home, now the Tappan Library, was built in 1700. This home on the village green was a school, the Rockland Academy, from 1843 to 1860. Part of this dwelling served as the first school in Rockland County. Built in 1711, it is also the oldest schoolhouse in the state of New York. The DeWint House, built of native sandstone in 1700, served as Washington's headquarters on 5 different occasions. It is the oldest original house and also the only house in Rockland County still standing, of which it can be said Washington slept here. During Major Andre's trial, Washington sought seclusion here. With his consent, Food and occasional delicacies from his own table were sent to the doomed young man. He did not see Andre, and on that fateful October 2nd, 1780, Washington had the shutters of his room closed. He did not witness the execution. Here, 3 years later, Sir Guy Carleton discussed terms of a peace treaty with General Washington. The tragic story of Major John Andre is well known. He entered the American lines on a secret mission to Benedict Arnold to plot the surrender of West Point. He was captured, tried, and condemned to death as a spy. Major Andre wished the dignity of a soldier's death by firing squad, rather than be hanged like a peasant and spy. Washington refused, not out of harshness nor personal hatred, but to grant his request would imply doubt as to Andre's guilt. In the shadow of his noose, Andre murmured, "It will be but a momentary pang." His death, though, according to the stern code of war, moved even his enemies to pity, and both armies mourn the fate of one so young and brave. The hamlet of Tappan, nostalgic, charming, an authentic link from the past. May it remain ever so.